So you're a three-sport good athlete in all three schools.
Best part about our team this year is good lunch. Yeah. Most of my life I lived in the South.
What prompted you to have to move 11
Yeah.
times? Garrett, I want to welcome you to another edition of Grubbin with G. This is a time where I get to interview different NIL athletes that we have, primarily from LSU, but sometimes from other places. And we allow the athlete to select a certain restaurant in town that we highlight and feature, and chosen Phil's. It's a wise choice. Actually, this is the first restaurant that is been selected twice.
Yeah.
Angel Reese selected this one also, and Anthony's such a great guy and the whole family. So I can understand why you did it. It's a wonderful restaurant. It's an institution. I'm excited to eat. I'm also excited to get to talk to you. It's okay. We got some folks around here somewhere, like that table back there. They'll probably be whatever they want over there as well. Okay. Oh, and one more thing here. So all the people in the restaurant here that I'm inconveniencing, let's pick up their bill. So their bill, nobody gets a bill. I'll pay for everything. All right, thank you. All right, Garrett. So here we are. We're coming up on opening week, and excitement's building and things are building. I know you've been working really hard, and I want to talk a lot about football. But I also want to just talk about you for people to get to know you. So other than your style of play, which I think inspires people, it really brings an excitement as a fan watching. But I want people to get to know you. And you have an interesting story, because I think I read where you've moved 11 times in your life, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell everybody about that. What prompted you to have to move 11 times?
So I grew up a coach's kid. My dad is a coach in college football, and it's weird for me, like I always grew up, I had Louisiana roots, and I always grew up kind of sort of an LSU fan, but really I was truly a fan of whatever school my dad was at that year, and so, he was at Alabama, he was at Florida. I've been in Death Valley, like on the opposite side, which was kind of weird, so being in it on the other side now is way cooler and a lot better experience for sure. But moving around a lot, in the coaching business, that's just how it is.
Right.
Different things happen at different jobs, and you have to move. So yeah, I moved 11 times, but I think it was good. It built kind of my family's foundation. I think a lot of families that are coaches, families talk about like faith family football.
Right.
That's kind of how my family was.
Really?
We stuck together, and so I wouldn't trade the experience I had for the world. So.
We'll come back to that faith, family, and football. So tell me this: where was your dad born and raised?
My dad was born and raised in Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
And your mom?
Lake Charles, Louisiana. Yep.
Okay. So how did they meet?
So my dad was playing for the Saints in the '90s. My mom was a cheerleader for the Saints in the '90s.
Oh,
so,
a true love story.
Yes,
That type
sir.
of love story.
Yes, sir. So true New Orleans love story.
Yeah. So have you asked them who made the first move to who? Did she kind of do an extra little cheer? Did he throw a ball her way?
I don't know really what happened. I know there's some wild story or something, but that's pretty cool. But I don't know exactly what happened.
So they meet while he's playing for the Saints. Where did he play college?
He played for the University of Idaho. Yep.
He's drafted by the Saints and played a handful of years for them, right?
Yes, sir. He played about 4 years for the Saints, a couple for the Colts and the Broncos.
Okay.
So.
And you were born in Lake Charles.
Yes, sir.
So how were you born in Lake Charles and he's playing for the Saints?
So, if I remember correctly, I was born in 2002. He was in the CFL at the time, and they were home. It's kind of, I'm pretty sure that he was home in Louisiana for most of the off season, and that's when I was born in February. So, this is just like where all my family is. Majority of my mom's family. It's a huge family.
Right.
That's who we spend the most
from Lake
time
Charles,
with.
and that's where you go.
Lake Charles, Cameron, all that area.
That's your home.
Yes, sir.
That's your roots.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So playing the CFL, I don't think I read that. So
Yeah.
has he talked about the difference in experience CFL, NFL?
Yeah, he played for the BC Lions and the Ottawa Renegades. He actually won a Grey Cup with the BC Lions. But it's just total different. It's not a different sport, but there are different rules and different things. It's a little different.
Right.
Yeah.
And now he's a professional football
Yes, sir.
quarterback coach, right?
Yes, sir.
For the Chargers. That's been with the Cowboys. He likes that?
He does, yes, sir. It's it's different. You know, the college world's changing. You get a lot more time off in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, that was good. I think he only missed like 2.5 of my high school football games, which probably wouldn't have been possible if he was in college. So that was awesome.
All right. So I asked this question of Cade Beloso yesterday when I was interviewing him. You know Cade,
Yep.
baseball player, and I'm asking him about how his parents reacted and stuff after the game and stuff. But your dad, being a professional football quarterback, and also now being a quarterback coach, so you're coming up through the ranks, and you're playing, and you're in high school, and you're getting better,
Yeah.
right? And he's teaching you.
Yeah, I mean,
He's working with you.
yeah, definitely. I mean,
What was that like?
it's weird, like he never got in the way of what my coach was teaching me at my school, or especially in college, or even in high school, even in Little League. He didn't like to get involved as far as trying to trump the other coach. He never felt that way, and he didn't
Right.
think that was the right way to act and react to different things. But whenever it was me and him working one-on-one, I mean, he knows how to get to me best. He's been working with me since I was 8 years old. So there's a lot of memories I have, a lot of quality time, memories that I have, us just throwing in the backyard and learning different things, and him putting me through the drills he does with his
Yeah.
guys. So
He's still working with him. He's still give you little pointers. Hey, did you see
Yeah.
that? You check that.
yeah, I mean, I tell people the story all the time. Like in high school, I remember one time I came off the field after a big win, and I was pumped up in high school. I think it was my junior year, and I'm talking to my mom. My mom's smiling ear to ear, like whatever. My dad's like, "Dude, what are you doing on third down there in the red zone? You can't." I'm like, "All
Yeah.
right, Dad. All right, got it."
So
that's just how it is.
That's what I was referring to after a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
It's the whole, give a
Yeah.
compliment before you give a critique.
Yeah. No,
Right.
he's definitely giving the critique first.
He's gonna give the critique
but then
first.
yeah, for sure.
Right.
He's gonna give the critique 1st
Uh-huh.
But it's good that way.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
So you got some good foundation from your father.
So
Moved around a lot.
yes, sir.
I mean, Tuscaloosa, Florida, all over. Where was the place you liked the least that you didn't?
Ooh, man. The place I like the least, I'll probably have to say Ann Arbor. We lived in Michigan. We were only there for 8 months. I would say I'm more of a Southern kid at heart for sure. So most of my life I lived in the South, but there was a couple times we lived in Michigan, and
Right.
I just
It's
snow.
it's dark and dreary and just.
Yeah. I had some good
Yeah.
friends up there, but
They got
the
that
living
crazy
spirit,
coach
yeah.
up there. He wears those khakis all the time. He just things just don't seem right up there, man.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Would you have gone to play for him up there in Michigan?
I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't know. Different situation, I guess. I don't know.
All right. So growing up, besides football, you play other sports?
I played football, basketball, baseball my whole life. Played travel baseball and
What
AAU
position?
basketball.
Baseball.
I played shortstop when I was younger, and then started moving to like center field and left field when I got older. So
And basketball, what'd you play?
I was point guard and shooting guard most of my
You
life.
were good?
So I think I was pretty good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're a three-sport, good athlete in all three sports.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And that was in Texas. You were doing that.
Yeah, that was everywhere growing up. So every state we lived in, I
All
played
three
both.
sports.
Yes, sir.
Coming through it.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Huh. Did you always think football was your way? You were best in football, or did you think for a time, I
Yeah.
might have in baseball or something?
No, it was always football for me. Just being around it so much. That was the one sport that I loved so much. And so
Right.
that was kind of always my dream, always my goal. So.
Hardest you've ever been hit? Give me the play, the circumstance. Was it high school practice or in college?
Yeah, it definitely was in high school. I can remember my sophomore year. We played I was young. I wasn't very big yet. Probably about 150 pounds, 5'11". I probably had no business being out there yet.
Right.
I got hit by a dude that was committed to Florida State, I think it was. He was a senior, probably about 6'5", 300.
Yeah.
My friends actually clown me because there's a video. Somebody was videoing the game, I guess, and I was like stretching and moaning, I guess, because I got hit so hard. They never let me hear the end of that one, so that's probably the hardest I've ever been hit for sure.
You ever had a significant injury that impaired your career? I mean, or
Yeah.
a season or anything?
Yeah, I mean, my senior year of high school, my team, we were undefeated, hadn't played in the fourth quarter all year. We thought we had a chance to win state, and I was pretty hyped about it. Then on senior night, I actually broke my hand, broke all 4 fingers, so I couldn't play in the playoffs, and we lost in the first round. So that was tough. but
That's
got through it. So, yeah.
So you're rising the ranks in high school football and having a successful career, and the colleges come to call. And was it always LSU from day one? If they were offering, you were going, or did you ever, did you ever flirt with another college?
I did. I mean, I definitely had to think it through, logistically and make sure the situation was right. But it was always going to be, if the situation was right at LSU, that's where I was going to go. And it would have to have taken something to pull me away to where something was wrong here, Even my mom, I mean, we used to mess with her all the time. She wanted me to go here so bad, it felt like. We were at a school one time, and I won't name the school. We were walking around. She's like, this isn't LSU. This is, all right, mom, calm down. But yeah,
that's cute.
Probably always LSU.
So who were the other top three schools? Where was that?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, I knew I wanted to play in the SEC. I always thought that was the best conference. It would prepare me the most for the NFL. So I knew Texas was going to move into the SEC. So Texas was one. A&M was also one of my other top schools. And, I liked North Carolina for a little bit and also Miami for a little bit.
Right.
But I think if it was not LSU, it probably would have been A&M or Texas, probably. So.
With good reason. I mean, they're SEC now, and they're good schools.
Yes, sir.
I think you made the right choice.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Not biased at all, but I do think you made the right choice. All right, so you come to LSU, and is it what you expected coming in, and all of a sudden you walk in and you're in that locker room and you're starting to deal with the talent on the field, and you got some talented quarterback room at that time. I mean, what are you thinking when you come in?
I think it was exactly what I expected. I was blessed to be able to be around, locker rooms like that my whole life.
Yeah,
so I kind of knew what I was getting into. But I definitely think it was what I expected for sure.
So, if you were trying to describe to the normal LSU fan, difference in speed between high school and SEC football.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of something that they can understand? Right? It's like the difference between eating
probably the difference between driving a Honda or driving a Mercedes. It's probably
that big.
Probably the difference. Yeah, it's a big difference for sure. I mean, everything's faster in the game. I mean, it's just the little things, to be honest. I mean, it's just how twitchy guys are, and how quick they can get out of breaks, especially with receivers and DBs. It just everything's just that much faster, and it's the small details that are way different.
So who's the best defensive player you've had to face across the ball so far?
I practice against him every day. His name's Mason Smith. That's probably
big tooth. I thought you might say that.
Yeah.
Are y'all roommates? Is that right?
Yeah. We lived with each other for 3 years.
Yeah.
Since freshman year, yes, sir.
So, when I started getting this NIL deal and I started asking about the players I need to sign, the name kept coming up, Mason Smith. And I kind of knew that he was a really high recruit. I knew he was supposed to be different, and so I started asking. And I started asking some of the players I'm talking to, right? So tell me about Mason. And they're like, he's just different. And I'm like, no, but he's sitting in the background over there. He's a big guy, well proportioned, but there are a lot of big, well proportioned guys. They go, he's just different. I'm telling you, so. Explain to the average fan how he's different.
I think it's the way he moves. I don't know that I've seen a big dude that can move like that, to be honest.
Really?
I think he can hold his legs above his head like in a stretch, like a cheerleader. He's just so flexible. He's so fast. He's so twitchy. I think that's what makes him different. And at that size, I mean, it's just cheat code. So he's different. He's just different.
Just different.
He's just different.
Yeah, I've heard that sometimes in practice they have to say, that's enough. You don't need to do this anymore.
I will not confirm nor deny that.
Right. Okay. That's the word on the street.
Yeah.
That sometimes there's you're good.
Yeah.
You've had 3 reps. You're good. Get on out. Right. Well, some are just God given, right?
Yeah.
Just different.
No doubt.
All right. So the practicing wise at college compared to high school, much more intense. The same.
I think in Texas, a lot of things they do. I went to a Texas high school, so a lot of things they do is very professionalized. And we were practicing at 5 a.m. every morning.
Really?
So we would practice 5 a.m. before school. I mean, it was dark outside when we started practice. So I think I was kind of used to the workload. Now, not completely, but I expected what it was going to be, to be what it is. And I think because I was able to go to a high school where we kind of did a more upscale level of different things, that it wasn't as hard of a transition. So.
All right. I want to come back to football in a second, but want to get people to know more about you. Tell everybody something that they wouldn't expect about you.
Oh man, something they wouldn't expect about me. Well, I mean, I get my hobbies outside of football. I'm either, if it's duck hunt season, I'm duck hunting. If it's a good time to golf, I'm golfing.
Right.
If it's deer hunt season, I'm in Mississippi deer hunting. So we got some property out there that I spend as much time as I can at. Like I said, I like to hunt, fish. And I don't do much from August to December. To be honest.
You're locked in.
I'm a locked in type of guy. I don't really
So
leave the house.
that's you want to be the best you can be.
Yes, sir.
In college, lead your team to victories, hopefully play in the pros. I mean, that's
sir.
your mindset, that's your goal.
Yes, sir. Well, my main goal has always been I want to win a national championship here. So that's the goal, that's the focus, and with winning a national championship comes the other stuff. So I mean that's the mindset.
That's true. Joey B showed that.
No doubt. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he did. All right, so duck hunt, Benelli, Beretta, Winchester. What do you shoot?
I actually just bought a new Beretta.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
I think it was the Super Black Eagle. I think that's what it, or Super Dark Eagle. I forget what it's called, but yeah.
Benelli Super Black Eagle 3.
Yeah, that's what it is. Black Eagle.
Benelli Super. Oh, good. Yeah, good gun. So you'll hunt after the season's over.
Yes, sir.
You get going. All right.
Yeah.
Where do you go when you duck hunt?
When I was younger, I went a lot in Cameron. We have a lot of family land out there, so that's probably mainly where I go duck hunt, is out in Cameron.
So, you like to duck hunt, you like to golf. How good are you at golf?
It depends. Like, I get terrible because I don't play for 6 months out the year. I'm not very good in the winter, but towards the end of the summer, I start getting pretty good. I think I was like an 8, 9, 10 handicap, something around there towards the end of this summer. So.
Well, most quarterbacks that I've met are punters. Seem to hit the ball a long way. Is that similar with you?
Yeah.
You can hit it pretty good?
Yeah, I'm pretty good off the tee. So.
You hit it further than Peter Wright? You ever play with Peter Wright?
Yeah.
Does he like put suntan oil and stuff on when he's playing? So he comes out there, he's all brown. It's a mess. He's got his beads on. I never know what shoes he's wearing. And he comes out there and dinks it down the middle, but he plays pretty good for an old guy. Right, doesn't he?
He does.
He
gets it done. He gets it done.
I like playing with Peter. So you like to golf, you hunt. What else in your free time?
I like to play video games a little bit, just to connect with all my boys, because
Like
moving
Kyron
around.
plays video games. Like he ain't right.
I'm not like Kyron level video games, but I'm decent amount of video games. Yeah.
Okay. What are you studying?
I'm studying mass communications.
And if quit playing football tomorrow and you graduate in mass communication, what would you see yourself doing?
Thank you. So really, my kind of goal with mass communications major is I want to coach after I'm done playing football.
Really?
So yeah, kind of how I saw it was I was trying to figure out a plan, kind of what I would do if, say, I got an opportunity to play in the NFL for 15 years and made enough amount of money to not have to have a stable job and just to enjoy life. I wanted to get into mass communications, possibly to do something in the broadcasting world, maybe be on TV or do different advertising or stuff like that. That was kind of my plan, and if not, then I plan on being a coach after I'm done playing. So
I don't know how he could do mass communication broadcasting. Really, I mean, look at that face, that hair, the way he speaks. He's got no talent to be on a camera, right? I don't even know why I'm sitting next to this young, like Brad Pitt looking kid.
Nah.
I swear, I need to be at a different table, Taylor. Let me look at him. So, like, I gotta imagine you walk into a bar after a game on Saturday night. Garrett Nussmeier walks in. It's full of ladies. I mean, it's got to be good to be you on a Saturday night after a game and a win, huh?
No.
No?
I don't go to the bar. I go home.
You go home.
I
Smart
stay out of
woman.
trouble.
Mama be proud of that. Yeah, there's trouble out there.
There is trouble.
You got to watch them.
No doubt.
They're all
doubt.
out there.
No
You
doubt. Yes,
the
sir.
Bible says flee temptation. If you're a smart young man, your mama raised you well.
No doubt.
Yeah, but I could see him in broadcasting, huh? You see him behind in there talking. So if I were to, let's see, the game's over. I was gonna get you to commentate a play-by-play on the game, but it's over right now.
I think I'd be pretty good.
You could do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think
So, do you think Romo is better than the others at calling a game?
I do. I think I like listening to Romo
Oh, I
because I think it's I don't know. I think it's cool to listen. I think it's cool for fans to like listen and kind of like he almost gives an insight of what goes on
He
in the
does.
quarterback's
I mean,
mind. So
and he doesn't call every play right,
Right.
but he's certainly diagnosing what's happening
no
pre-snap.
doubt.
And based upon that, he gives an educated guess. And a lot of times he's right.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so he's doing that. Aikman doesn't do it as much. And I don't know if Troy's just a pretty guy from UCLA and doesn't think through it like Romo.
Well, I think Troy Aikman's gonna be a Hall of Famer, so I don't know about. I think
he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
yeah,
no doubt.
I think he might just be used to the old school way. I think that's what it is.
I was watching something on him the other day. It was really fascinating. Kind of a biography on Aikman.
Yeah.
Really interesting. So Romo's a good golfer.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard Romo's a good golfer.
I was trying to set this up with you, and I appreciate you taking the time for it. Been trying to talk about whether we could do it in the season and talk to some people like, man, let me tell you what, during the season, it's really hard. Garrett's going to be locked in. So tell me what that means for you and for the average fan, because we see you on a Saturday night and you play.
Yeah.
And then we know you've got some treatment, you've got practice during the week. And I know quarterback's different because I have a lot of deals with a lot of the other players, different positions. But quarterback demands a different level. So tell me like the extra things that perhaps the quarterbacks have to do compared to the regular team, which requires so much more from you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can just give you a little insight of like what a week would look like for me. Most players that we all have practice from 2 to our meetings from 2 till 3 or whatever. We have practice from 4 to 6, and a lot of guys can just get dinner and go home. In different positions, and watch a little bit of film. But the quarterback position, you have to be prepared for everything. And so what most quarterbacks do, and a lot of us do, is we have schedules. So Monday we're watching for at least an hour and a half after practice. Monday we might watch their base down defense, their first down, second down defense, and Tuesday we may watch just third down defense, and then Wednesday might just be red zone, so etc. So that's about an hour and a half. And then we have to take care of our arms because we're a thrower, so that's different too. So getting the treatment that we got to get there. I'd say I probably don't get home from the facility probably it's about 9 or 9:30
during the season.
Day. Yes, sir.
Almost every night.
Around then, yes, sir.
You're supposed to study too.
Yeah, and I get my schoolwork done. Don't worry about that. But yeah, it's normally about like 45 to 30 minutes to unwind when I get home, and just then get to bed. It's the same thing over again. So I personally love it. Like, if I'd probably be going crazy if I didn't have that to do during the season. So.
Right. So how are you liking the Brian Kelly experience?
It's been awesome. I think Coach O did a great job, and I love Coach O to death. And that's my guy. But Coach Kelly's just kind of done different things as far as discipline and stuff like that. And it's kind of been a more we kind of went from a more old school, when you think about Coach O, that's just how he was, and it worked, and won a national championship. It's all over the stadium, it's all over the facility.
Right.
But I think it's just a different mindset with Coach Kelly. It's more of a smarter and less workload, but a smarter workload.
Right.
Keeping guys healthy and things like that. I think Coach Kelly's done an amazing job coming in, and I think you're starting to see guys. We have more of a buy-in. As the years go on, and now going into our second year, there's a lot more of a buy-in than there was the first year, and so I think that's exciting to see as guys get used to the daily life in Coach Kelly's system. So
Right. I agree with you. Coach Kelly is he's impressive.
yeah.
He has a big vision for the whole program. He delegates where he needs to, but he's still very involved. And I knew Coach O as well. colorful personality, and I mean, there's not many like goes wrong. And I love seeing the little Instagram stories or TikToks that pop up. But here's O on the beach, and he's talking to somebody. He's not wearing a shirt. He's running down here, and he's such a colorful character. So I want nothing but good things for him. But I'm glad Coach Kelly's here. I think he's the right guy to lead this program. He's going to win a championship.
No doubt.
Got to catch the right breaks in the right time, and which year it's going to be.
Sir.
Tell the average fan, you got a play called in, and it's choose the down, the distance, and all, and kind of just tell an average fan what you might be looking for, and how much they allow you to audible, whether you're going to audible, what you're going to do. So take us through some of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of depends on the play.
Choose your favorite play.
If it's just a base pass play, I'm coming up there. First thing I have to worry about is my protection. Am I going to get hit? That's what goes through quarterback's mind first, is making sure they don't get hit, right? So checking that, making sure I'm good, and then I'm checking.
So how do you check that? When you make sure you're not getting hit?
Well, without revealing too much of how we do stuff, basically just numbers. Like if I've got 5 guys blocking, do I got 5 guys coming at me? You know what I'm saying? If I got 6 guys blocking, do I got 6 or 7 coming at me? Things like that. So.
Limit the guy like me and most fans who are watching. We know Peyton yelling Omaha, 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 and then Brady is always, he goes and basically points at the mic every time, right? That's the mic, that's the mic, that's the mic, right? Then he steps back. So tell everybody what that's doing so they know.
So when Peyton's doing that, or when anybody is doing that, you see that on TV, they're telling the offensive line basically who to block, and the rest, basically it's telling the center which way to go, and the rest of the guys follow suit based off of who we're pointing out. If that makes sense. So.
You think we get Coach Kelly to say, get it done at the person, like, can I work with him on that?
I think so.
Get it done.
So.
8888. We do something like that?
I think so.
I think it'd be pretty good.
I think so.
That get picked up.
Yes, sir.
I might want to sponsor that. All right, so you're at the line and you're looking up there. Keep going. What happens?
So after protection, then you got to check to see the coverage, or whatever the key of that play might be, or wherever your read starts, and then after you got that, make sure you're good. Then it goes to post snap, and then you're just going through your read and going through your progression. I think a lot of times people see things on TV where they see somebody wide open, they're like, oh my God, why'd the ball not go there? And there are times where hey, well, his first read was open, so he had to throw it there, or his second was read, and that guy might not even been a part of the play. Right. He just happened to be wide open. I think that's something the regular fans just kind of see sometimes, and they're like, what are we doing? But that's definitely something that a quarterback has to think about every play. Everything's structured. No system, no matter what offense you're in the entire sport of football, is it just, hey, go out there and find the open guy. There's always a read, there's always a system. So I think that's what goes through here.
Would you agree with me that you might improvise a little bit more than the normal quarterback? I'm not trying to stereotype, right? But standing up there in the stands and watch the drop back, right? My son played, so I'm generally familiar with what should be happening. And all of a sudden, Nuss is doing his thing, right?
Yeah.
You that always been your style?
Yeah, I think I've always kind of had that part of my game. It's been a strong suit for me, extending plays and making plays outside the pocket when things go bad. It's kind of something that I've always been proud of my ability to do. There are obviously times where I've had to learn how to control it, and I think I've done a pretty good job of learning how to control that. I think, definitely. There are times where I get out and kind of do things that, probably not supposed to do, but what I've learned is as long as I'm taking care of the football and doing it the right way, then I'm good.
Yeah, so. I remember watching a video with John Gordon years ago, Nick Saban talking about the quarterback position, right? And basically, first thing, take care of the ball. That was it. Take care of the ball. Don't get strip sacked, right? Don't turn it. Don't throw an interception. And then he went from there. It wasn't. That was. He understands the dynamics of how many possessions each side has. You lose it, the odds go against you that you win the game.
Right. No doubt.
What I like about you, obviously everybody likes about you, is when you're improvising. That's fun. It gets us all excited. But from a guy who understands a little bit about quarterbacks, is your head is downfield. when you're running around doing some of that stuff, it's not like you're not keeping the head downfield, still surveying what's going on, trying to determine where you're going through the next read or next progression. But the head downfield, and maybe you're seeing them coming out of your left or your right eye, they're coming at you, but head is downfield as you're scrambling around like a madman back there, right? Or sometimes you realize what you're doing back there.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, did I just do that?
No, I mean, I'm always in control. I mean, I can remember the Georgia play on the 4th down where I spun out of the sack. I mean, I remember feeling it happen. I mean, I don't know. I think that's just been my play style for so long that I've just kind of learned to, feel things a different way. I don't know. But, I mean, like I felt that play happening the way, it ended up happening. I felt like I didn't feel like, oh, what's happening? It felt like it was just routine and that was what I was supposed to do.
So your dad got to give you a little props on that, right? I mean, he's got to say
sometimes, yeah. He'll give me some
nice.
flowers sometimes. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
He's got to give you a little something on that.
Yes, sir.
You seen your dad play?
I've seen tape.
video?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You were better than him?
I'd like to think so. Yes, sir.
What does he think?
I don't know. He made it to the league, so I gotta get there first.
It was a lot easier making the league back then. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, Luke could have probably played back then, right? I mean, look at Luke. He looks like he's a gamer, right? I mean, maybe practice squad or something.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I think from watching my dad, I think it might just be genetic of the way. My dad played kind of very similar way.
Really?
He was kind of an improviser. He was more of a runner than I was. He's a lefty. But he was bigger. He was 6'4", lefty, but he could run a little bit. And he could. He played kind of similar. Some of the highlights I've seen are pretty similar.
You've got pretty good speed too. You're not. You move away from guys like that.
Yeah, I think it's one of my hidden gems, I guess you could say. I mean, a lot of people think that I can't move. In fact, that was the knock on me in high school, was that I couldn't move. And I can, and I only use it, when I need to. I think
Right.
that's kind of my secondary.
I played a little quarterback in high school, and I mean, my secret to speed, it's fear. I didn't want to get hit by those big guys.
Yeah.
And let's say I'm a 4'8" guy.
Yeah.
When they're chasing me, somehow I found another gear.
No
and
doubt.
it's going.
No doubt.
There it is, Ruben.
All right, I'll ask that. Got some breaking news here delivered by our own Ramsey Barfield, co-director of all things NIL at Gordon McKernan injury attorney. So we'll get back to your ability to evade, the rush, all that. But something much more important. Let's talk about your living with Mason, how y'all live together, how you keep your place, how clean you are, whether you're doing your laundry, being a good roommate. Like, you want to be a good teammate, you want to be a good roommate. So talk to me about that. You struggle in that area?
No, I don't. But me and Mason get in arguments all the time.
Why so?
Because Mason is the type of guy that if something happens, it's always somebody else's fault. And he's so big, sometimes there's nothing you can do about
You
it.
can't argue with him. He said
Can't argue about it.
it's your fault.
Exactly. So sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and just take it. But I mean, that's just how it is. So.
Y'all look for him together 3 years?
Yes, sir. Yep. Since freshman
Are
year.
y'all doing this year?
I actually just moved in with my cousin this coming up year.
Is a baseball player at LSU?
Yes, sir.
Who's that?
Gavin Guidry.
Did I know you were cousins?
I don't know.
I don't think I knew Gavin you were cousins.
Yes, sir.
Good kid.
Yep.
His haircut's a little different from me. Right? I'm just saying.
A little bit different.
It's skin. It's
sir.
there. Got a nice girlfriend too.
Yeah, he does.
I like her.
Yep.
Yeah. He's you talk about a gamer too, right?
Yep.
I mean, like when I signed him, I didn't even know he could pitch. I really didn't. I'm like, okay, it was Gatorade, Gatorade Player of the Year, and let's go. And then all of a sudden, like, why are you starting to pitch? Well, they need a little reliever. So imagine it'd be like you going, all right, you kick a little bit. All right, we need you to start kicking field goals.
Yeah.
I mean, who does that?
No, I don't. When he first told me he was starting pitching, it was kind of like nonchalant. It's just like, hey, I'm just kind of pitching. I'm like, all right. The next thing you know, he's closing out the national championship. I was, all right.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope he has coming up here has just a great year.
He will.
All right. So you and Gavin living together.
Yes, sir.
You tell me. I have to ask him about that.
Yep.
You watched the College World Series and all that?
Yes, sir.
That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Yeah.
It was a little bit. I was a little bit stressed, but Actually, I was at the Manning Passing Academy when we played Wake Forest,
Ah.
and that extra inning game with Tommy hit
Yeah.
the bomb.
Yeah.
We're sitting in a little dinner, and I'm watching on my phone, and I guess I was a little bit behind. Well, everybody in there was watching their phone, and there's a table next to me that just starts jumping up and down, freaking out. Right after they made the pitching change, and I just threw my phone down. I knew what it meant. I was excited, but I was pissed that I didn't get to see it, But then I was still happy when I saw it. So
Yeah. So you brought Manning Passing Academy, Peyton, Eli, the good guys.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
down to earth like what you see on the
Yes,
the
sir.
silly TV commercials. That's how they are.
No doubt, yes, sir. It was cool. That was a cool experience getting to be around that. So getting to learn from them and hear different
Yeah.
things. So
That's a production. I've been down. That's
yeah.
a lot of kids moving through there.
Yes, sir. My dad was actually Peyton's roommate. When Peyton was a rookie when he was drafted, my dad was his veteran backup.
Really?
So they were roommates, and so I got to hear a couple of little funny stories about my dad too.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So
If only they could figure out what to do life after football, they might have it made. Because they're just floundering in commercials and
Yeah,
podcasts.
no doubt.
They really need to catch a break here soon.
no doubt.
I'm hopeful for them. Oh, that's really interesting. All right, so new roommate, going into this season, we've established that you can walk in any bar and have any girl which you don't.
Nope.
I'm not going to ask you about your love life because I've been told that's kind of off limits, but I understand why. Because literally, the whole university is yours if you want to do it this year. But I get it, and you're good, and your mom will be proud. And I need to reach out to her and see how good you've raised her. So let's turn back to the season now. All right, preseason 5. Schedule's not doing us any favor. We got some tough games. So you're in the SEC. That's what you expect. You have any concerns about this season?
No, I don't. I mean, I really think that we have a really good team. I think the best part about our team this year is we have a lot of depth. I think almost at every position. So I think if we handle things the right way, I mean, I really do have a really good feeling about what we can accomplish. So.
Any major changes in the offense? I don't want you to reveal them right now, but
No.
just more refinement of what happened last year.
No, I think I told somebody this the other day. Like we've just been kind of like working on like smaller things. I think like last year we made a lot of like small mistakes that led to bigger things, and we didn't really change much about who we are. We've just been working on trying to fix those. If we limit those, then it limits all.
There it is. Oh man, he was talking good about you for a little bit. Not all of it, but a little bit.
This is.
See, he's got Pretty Boy's got to watch his figure. We've established that the girls are after him.
You know me.
Y'all better put this in.
Throw it back. What you weighing? You still move, right?
You know I'm moving.
I don't know you move. You better be.
Look good. I just had to come.
Y'all better keep that in the video.
Keep that.
That better be in there.
So, not real concerned. You're confident. You feel good. You expect to be playing for the SEC championship. Team expects that.
Yes, sir. I think the team has very high expectations.
Is the coaching staff talking to y'all differently or treating you differently?
No, I wouldn't say that they changed anything about how they're talking to us. I think we have the good thing about this year is we've all played together for a year,
Right.
and it's a group of guys that have been through a lot,
Right.
Even though we came out last year, we were 10-4 or whatever
Right.
we finished. If you think about all the stuff we went through, we played in the SEC championship.
Yeah.
We took Bama to overtime and won the game in overtime. We got blown out by Tennessee, which is a learning experience, even though it hurts to talk about.
Right.
We beat a top 10 Ole Miss, and there are other different situations I'll leave out. The Florida State game and what we went through week 1.
Yeah.
So, we went through a lot, in successes and failures.
Right.
Those are lessons you learn, and you take with you.
Agreed.
So, I think this year it's
So,
going to pay off.
I saw where Coach Kelly said the other day, we're on the way up. We're getting there. But, Georgia, Alabama is what we want to be, right? He said that, right? When you look at Georgia, Alabama, if you were to say a couple things, I'm not saying there's a separation, but if you were saying there was a separation, what do you think that is? Is it depth?
I think what Coach Kelly means by that is it's not more about what we put like the product out of the field. It's about who we are on a day-to-day basis. I think it's like about the program and the culture. I think that's what he means.
I like that.
It's when you think of Georgia and Alabama, those guys, they don't mess around. They don't get in trouble. Especially guys at Alabama, they know not to mess around.
Do the right thing. Yeah.
They're always doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And, when you get out there, like Alabama rarely gets in fights on the field. And
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
with Georgia because they're just they're stone cold killers, and that's the kind of mindset we have. And, I think we whooped them last year. I think we whooped them pretty good, but I think that's what he means is if we can do what we did to those teams last year
Right.
and put up a good fight against Georgia, and we weren't even all the way
Right.
where we want to be yet. Imagine if we can make those changes,
Right.
become that as a program, what we could do on the field. So
Was that the best football environment you've ever been in? The LSU Alabama game?
yeah, I mean, that was different for sure.
It was crazy.
I was actually my dad was the OC at Bama the year that TJ Yeldon caught that screen pass and that little comeback.
Right. Yep.
So I remember that how loud it was and how pissed off LSU fans were. So
Right.
now I felt good being on those sides. So
Yeah.
that Alabama LSU game, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
So
When people learned I was going to be interviewing, they said, ask him about the transfer, the portal. How close was he? What was he thinking? I mean, where was he going? How much money was he really being offered? The rumors are out there. You were, what was it? Drake was buying him a mansion or something. I don't remember. There was crazy rumors out there. Wasn't there something about Drake and a plane or a man? I don't know. It was nuts. But so take me through that process, right? You're sitting there. I guess Walker's still in the mix at that time, right? You and Walker get along good from everything I know about. I know Walker and his family, and we want success for him at Ole Miss. I mean, that's a good dude.
Yep.
Good family.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, you're going through how are you processing this about? Because obviously you had to think about it. There was too much out there for you. So tell me what's going into that dilemma.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me it was I never wanted to leave LSU, but I think I had to have I needed peace in my head that this is where they wanted me just as much as I wanted to be here.
Right.
And after getting to play in the last two games and getting
Played
to
well.
talk to
You
them.
did some nice stuff in those games,
thank
man.
you. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, you
but,
think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
but,
I think that was the most important part. I never wanted to leave LSU, and I felt like I was only going to leave LSU if I had to leave LSU. I want to play at LSU. This is where I want to be, but I also have dreams of playing in the NFL, and I also have dreams of winning national championships and doing all these different things. And there's no place I'd rather it be than LSU. But if that wasn't the case, and they never saw that with me, then I felt like I was going to have to make a decision. But I don't think I ever got close to entering the portal or to making that decision. I think, once I had things situated and knew where I stood, and I think that's where.
Yeah, this new world of NIL certainly makes it interesting for programs and coaches, and gives y'all a lot of leverage.
Yes, sir.
Right, and I'm aware of it. Right, it's out there. It gets used against you a lot. Right,
Yes, sir.
so is that stuff talked about much in the locker room, like NIL and deals, and I want to get paid and all that stuff?
I think people. I mean, I used to hate when people would talk about it all the time, like, it's going to create a locker room issue, at the end of the day, nobody truly,
Right.
I mean, of course you're going to get jokes and, you have people say all the time, I don't know, just anybody, hey, let me hold some, anybody, just making
Right,
jokes
right.
and cracking jokes, but there's no hard feelings ever. I
Right.
mean, there's nothing like that, and I would say most people don't go around either bragging to their teammates about what they're
wouldn't
doing,
think so.
and if you do, that's probably when a locker room issue would become,
Yeah.
if you're acting like that. So the guys that handle it the right way, I don't think there's much pushback from teammates. So
That's good to hear. Well, I know everybody in the state of Louisiana is glad you stayed. So, a few little popcorn questions, and we're going to close this down. Again, I really do appreciate you staying here, and I appreciate you taking time with me. So, like to do this. Favorite band?
favorite band. I mean, I don't really have a band. The only band I can think of is the Zach Brown band. I guess.
Zach Brown.
I like country music a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm not a big. Not really bands.
Yeah. Okay. Singer then.
My favorite singer. So I listen to rap music and country music.
Country music. Back
Depends
and
on the
forth.
time. So country music is George Strait, and
Yeah.
rap music is Young
The
Boy.
king, George Strait. Love George Strait, right?
Yes, sir.
Swifty, not Swifty.
Not Swifty.
Not Swifty. I like.
It's an old Swifty, like country
love
Taylor
story.
Swift.
Man,
Yes,
I love
that-
love story.
yes,
we
that
were
stuff.
talking about that the other day.
New Taylor Swift, not
Alright.
me. Not me.
Favorite book?
Favorite book, man. You know, my favorite
Besides
book's
the
as a
playbook.
kid.
That's probably your favorite one. Besides the playbook
Yeah.
and the Bible for your mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite books as a kid were those Treehouse books, the Treehouse story books. Some
Okay.
people remember that, some won't. But
Favorite movie?
favorite movie, it's either Facing the Giants or Remember the Titans.
Man, look at you. You were just football through and through, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Favorite food?
Favorite food is either etouffee or people say I'm stupid, but I really like boiled crawfish. Like that's when I get to eat it, that's my favorite thing to eat.
Favorite vacation spot?
Favorite place I've ever been to is the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, it's a great place.
I like that place.
It's a new one I came up with. So, you decided you had a great game. You slayed it, right? And you threw for 450 and 5 touchdowns, and you're going out tonight. Right? You're going in the bar. You're going to let them see you. What do you dress? How are you rolling that? What are you putting on?
I'm not really a collared shirt type of guy to the bar. I think I just I
Tank
like
top?
shoes. No.
Taylor, no tank top. No tank top.
I like shoes and Jordans and stuff like that.
Jordans?
So
You wear
I'll
some
probably wear
Jordans?
some Jordans, and some cargo pants, and some type of graphic shirt. Something like
Shirt.
that. Yes, sir.
You met Jeff Watson with my company?
Yeah.
He has 80 pair of Jordans.
Yeah, I know it.
What 48-year-old male attorney father
wild.
of 4 has 80 Jordans in Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
Yeah, that's wild.
He's not like a movie producer or a rap producer, right? I mean, he's a lawyer in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's got 80 pair of Jordans. That just ain't right. All right. Well, I think that's it. We're looking forward to watching what happens for you. We'll be rooting you on.
Sir.
Can't wait to see what you do with the ball in your hands because you never know. It's just always exciting, and you play the game the way it's meant to be played, all out. So we're thankful you're part of the G team, and
Appreciate it.
can't wait to see what
Glad
happens,
to be a
buddy.
part of it. Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank
boy.
you. Yes,
Be
sir.
good.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.